The following is a special presentation of ESPN on ABC.
Fast, I'm coming in fast. First place, you coming in last.
The Chicago Sky, the Phoenix Mercury are
Finish it. Win and go home. Sky, if she's open, give it to her.
the gold hairs are working.
Just go to her.
Fading and hitting.
We were missing one piece, and it was Candace Parker. I look at it as an opportunity.
I know the magnitude of this.
We welcome you to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV. This afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona, it's game one of these best-of-5 finals between the Chicago Sky and the Phoenix Mercury. Candace Parker returning home to Chicago and has delivered her team to the finals. Meanwhile, Diana Taurasi, fresh off an epic performance, helping lead Phoenix to a dramatic Game 5 win in Las Vegas. How about the road to the finals for these two teams? Chicago had an uneven regular season, but they have come alive in the playoffs and a well-dispersed scoring attack. And for Phoenix, 5-2 in these playoffs and a whole lot of offense. As we welcome you courtside. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for the start of these WNBA Finals. I mean, there are so many stars on each of these teams. But how about two legends in this game? Two of the greatest of all time, Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi.
Both of these players help lead their teams to this moment. Candace Parker, one of the best facilitating forwards we've ever seen, can go end to end, deliver to teammates, and she can also deliver in the clutch. Whether she's got her back to the basket or on the perimeter, one of the toughest players to defend in the league. And then on the other side is Diana Taurasi, leading her team once again to the finals. You need a big shot in a big moment. That is the big-time player you want. Taking it, can't wait to see what she's got in store for us here in Game 1.
The credentials are bountiful for both of these accomplished women. Candace Parker, a Finals MVP. Diana Taurasi, a two-time Finals MVP. We got some championships up on our set. Let's check in with our outstanding studio crew, LaChina Robinson, Sue Bird, and Carolyn Peck.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Our crew is ready to tip off one of the most anticipated WNBA finals in league history, and boy, do we have a group to do that with. I'm LaChina Robinson, former GM and head coach in the WNBA, Carolyn Peck, and look who we got here. Four-time WNBA champion Sue Bird joining us. And guys, Ryan and Rebecca set up the matchup between Diana Taurasi and Candace Parker so well. I want to talk X factors. Coach Peck, I'll go to you first. When you look at these two teams, what player has to step up and be a game changer in this series?
For the Chicago Sky, compliment to Candace Parker has been Azurá Stevens. And Azurá Stevens has upped the ante. She's averaging almost 11 points a game and 7 rebounds a game. And she's playing with that strength, being the aggressor offensively. And for the Phoenix Mercury, well, it's playoff P, Shea Petty, and she has made some clutch baskets to get the Mercury where they are. Remember, in Game 5, she hit 2 of the 3 free throws to help the Mercury advance to the WNBA Finals.
You call her playoff Petty. Diana calls her Kung Fu Petty. I call her stays ready Petty. Now, Sue Bird, we want you to put that point guard hat on, right? We know you you never take it off. When you look at both of these teams on the offensive and defensive end, and you've played against both these seasons, what is the key to winning this matchup for both Chicago and Phoenix?
Yeah, I think for Phoenix, it's going to be big time important for them to control the tempo, control the pace. Given all the injuries, their depth is impacted, so they really need to be selective with when they push. Unless it's Diana coming off drag screens or Skylar attacking the rim, you might want to see a half-court game for the Mercury because you know Chicago's going to push. The other thing Chicago needs to do is hit those three-pointers. When they shoot the ball well behind the arc, over 36%, they're 15-2 on the season. When they're below that, just 6 and 15. But it can't just be their guards. It has to be their post players as well, which will help stretch the floor.
The only game Chicago has lost in the semis was when they shot under that 36% from the three-point line. But Chicago's coming in red hot, and it has everything to do with the influence of Candace Parker. For more on that, here's our Holly Rowe.
Candace Parker adding herself to the Chicago Sky roster has elevated everyone around her on this team. Most season and in the playoffs, Kalia Copper with 18 points per game. She said from day one in training camp, Candace was on me, that I could be the next star on this team. And she believed her every single day. She has pushed her, and here they are in the finals. If they win, it's Kalia Copper's ability to get her own shot, attack the basket, and be aggressive. She will also start out defensively on the most difficult assignment, Diana Taurasi. Now for more on Phoenix, let's welcome Roz Gold on Woody.
Thanks, Holly. It was Brittany Griner who came up with the game-saving block in Game 5. But she told me what might have saved her career was therapy. She took time away from the game to focus on her mental health with regular counseling and therapy. She told me, I'm in a really great place. I love basketball again. I love coming to work. I can focus on the game again. And now you see the results.
Oh, we saw the results in Game 5. In addition to that block, 28 points from Brittany Griner. A rematch of the 2014 WNBA Finals about to begin. The Chicago Sky and the Phoenix Mercury. The Sky dispensing of the top overall seed Connecticut Sun in a 4-game series. And Phoenix winning an epic 5-game battle against the 2-seed Las Vegas Aces. Mercury won the season series 3-0 against Chicago, but Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi both missed 2 of those 3 meetings. Cheryl Flores, Eric Bruton, Isaac Barnett, our officials this afternoon in Phoenix. This crowd on its feet, they will not sit until the Mercury gets its first bucket. Stevens and Griner will jump it up. And the 2021 WNBA Finals are underway. Shea Petty starting out on Courtney Vandersloot defensively for Phoenix. We heard Sue Bird allude to the injuries of Phoenix, still without Sophie Cunningham. Could return later in the series. Kia Nurse out after tearing her ACL in Game 4 of the semifinals. Vandersloot dumps it into Parker. Shot clock about to expire, and it does. Nice defensive stand on the opening possession from Phoenix, and you can see Candace Parker saying, my bad, I couldn't see the clock.
Yeah, and one of the luxuries of having a terrific perimeter defender at the 4 spot, Brianna Turner, is that you can switch out on those screens. She was able to toggle back and forth between Vandersloot and Parker.
Big screen there that Copper, with her physicality, was able to work over. Here is Turner. Griner wants it, one-on-one with Parker. Watch the help coming. It comes in quickly. Griner twisting. 5 to shoot. Dangerous pass. Taurasi gonna chuck. And it's hit from 3. Picking up right where she left off. Now the fans sit, which means Rebecca can see the right side of the floor, so everybody's happy. Here is Stevens, wrapping to the rim, good D from Griner.
That's where Stevens has the advantage on the Griner, though. Bring her to the perimeter.
Petty races into a whistle against Vandersloot. And an early foul on Courtney Vandersloot will send Shea Petty to the line.
And Phoenix will pick and choose when they can run, and you heard Sue Bird talking about that in the open. And Phoenix has played that way all year. They want to slow down when it's time to slow, but it's particularly important in this game. You know, Chicago ended their series in 4 games. Phoenix played on Friday night. A quick turnaround yesterday to fly back home.
And it was an interesting move from James Wade, the head coach of the Sky. Had his team go to Vegas to prepare to just be out west, regardless of who was going to win, Vegas or Phoenix. Said, all right, at least we're on the West Coast, and our bodies are adapted. Meanwhile, Sandy Brondello said, we didn't do anything yesterday as Griner misses the first putback, but not the second. After the missed free throws from Shea Petty, a 5-0 Phoenix lead.
Giving up offensive rebounds was an Achilles heel in the prior round against Connecticut. Imperative for Chicago to get on the defensive boards.
Parker puts the Sky on the board with the jumper. What Sandy Brondello did do was have her team go through film this morning at 9 a.m. local before getting ready for action as Taurasi turns it over. Here comes quickly. This is where Chicago's so dangerous. Out in transition. Good hands, and it last hit quickly. Petty and Griner there defensively for Phoenix.
Petty's got quick hands, and she's active with them and just saved a layup that way. And And you saw the last possession when Diana Taurasi's coming off screens, the amount of attention she is getting from Chicago.
Here's Diggins-Smith, who carved up Chicago in the regular season. Taurasi again. She got it.
Phoenix needs to switch sides of the floor, especially after an on-ball screen, because Chicago is loading up. If they can continue to move side to side, they will have an advantage.
Vandersloot with a jumper. So Taurasi looks pretty rested after having a baby. Yesterday morning, her wife Penny welcoming young Isla into the world. Here's Diggins-Smith going to the reverse, rejected by Parker. Griner straight on, can't hit the jumper, and it's off to Vandersloot in Chicago.
You saw Turner was the only one in on the offensive glass. You have to worry about Chicago in transition, so make you go to the offensive boards a little less.
Copper connects on a three. You heard Holly Rowe talk about it off the top of the broadcast, but Kalia Copper has just been incredible in these playoffs. Turner bodies in and traveled as she did.
I like it, though. She's trying to attack Candace Parker. Maybe you see if you can get a foul on the superstar early, but just bobbled the ball and had her travel as a result.
Second turnover for Phoenix. Chicago has scored the last 5 after falling behind 8-2. Vandersloot can't hit the mid-range, and it tilts out of bounds to Phoenix. We've seen throughout these playoffs, Courtney Vandersloot has done a wonderful job of balancing when to call her own number and when it's a game to just load up on those assists. An 18-assist game, the playoff record in the semis, a 13-assist game as well. Nice kick. Diggins-Smith, right hand from the left side, and Petty does it again. Shea Petty, just like she did in Game 5, steals an inbound and lays it in.
She's done that multiple times. It wasn't just Game 5 and here. She did it earlier in the Vegas series as well.
A 12-7 Phoenix lead in the first quarter of Game 1. Here's Copper working Diggins-Smith. Copper cuts in. Couldn't finish. Another chance here for Chicago. Stevens with a shot clock fading. Couldn't get it to go, and Turner wins the battle on the glass for the Mercury. Taurasi wants it. And a foul here is going to go against Chicago. Copper will be called for the personal.
The backcourt's going to be so important for Phoenix, and Skylar Diggins-Smith taking it at the basket, floating it in over the outstretched arm of Azurá Stevens, right into the steal for Shea Petty.
Taurasi again? Not that time. Well, Shea Petty has been such a key contributor for Phoenix in these playoffs. As Quigley launches, can't hit. Turner able to flag it down. Petty playing big minutes with the injuries to Kia Nurse and Sophie Cunningham. Taurasi gets trapped. Did it last hit her? Well, she stepped out of bounds. Second turnover from Taurasi and the third for Phoenix.
You can't step up and set the screen there. I mean, it's too easy for Chicago to trap Diana Taurasi there.
James Wade has talked about how he has a dangerous team. Called the Sky that at the beginning of the playoffs. They have proved to be that. Winning 2 single elimination games and then knocking out Connecticut in 4 as Parker gets free for the leg.
And Turner has to defend Parker on the perimeter because she can hit the 3, and just a little head and shoulder fake getting Turner off balance lets her get to the rim.
Griner wants it. Double comes, quick turn, can't hook it in. Turner there for the weak side putback.
The double came from Turner's player, and it's a big double, and that's one area where she can get to the offensive glass.
Quigley hits the jumper. Chicago's had great success since inserting Allie Quigley into the starting lineup. The former DePaul star. Taurasi runs into Parker. That's going to be an offensive foul as Parker takes the charge. Third turnover of the quarter from Taurasi.
What a weapon when you have a 6'4" big who can make shots from the perimeter and then put it on the deck like this.
The WNBA Finals on ABC is presented by YouTube TV. Watch live TV with unlimited DVR and more. YouTube TV. Try it free. And in part by Taco Bell.
Welcome back to Phoenix. After Game 5 in Vegas, Diana Taurasi took a private jet that landed in Phoenix around 10:30 p.m. and she arrived at the hospital around 11:30. She told me right when I walked in, Penny started to get going. At 4:24 a.m., she witnessed the birth of their second child, Isla, at 20.5 inches and 8.7 pounds. Diana was with Penny and the baby in the hospital until 7:30 a.m. this morning, ran home to shower, and got to the arena at 9 a.m. to play in Game 1.
It's just an incredible story, and congratulations to Penny Taylor and Diana Taurasi as Quigley misses the three. But, I mean, how about Penny going into labor just as Diana starts going off in Game 5? It's just you can't script it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, she literally sent her into labor, figuratively every other Phoenix Mercury fan.
Kia Vaughn, Bria Hartley into the game for Phoenix as Taurasi gets a breather. Hartley, catch, fire, and hit from three.
Interesting to see. Chicago sends the double team to Brittany Griner on the dribble. It's not right away on the catch. They're waiting for her to make the move.
Parker trying to answer, cannot. Out of bounds. For a little more on the family dynamics of this series, let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, we have a very unique family connection today. The head coach of the Phoenix Mercury, Sandy Brondello, is actually married to the assistant coach for the Chicago Sky, Olaf Lang. Actually, Olaf did spend the night at their family home yesterday doing some laundry, but then went back to the team hotel to be with Chicago. They are navigating this, trying to not talk about basketball at home. Their children, Jada and Brody, got drafted. Jada's with Phoenix, Brody's with Chicago. But a very unique family dynamic here for the coaches with Olaf and Sandy. She said, you know, he's excited for me, I'm excited for them, and they woke up this morning with the neighbors putting this on their lawn. Game on, Mrs. versus Mr. Here we go.
I mean, first of all, they live next to professional artists. But what an interesting dynamic. So cool. And James Wade has a wonderful relationship with Sandy Brondello as well. Talks about how much she has meant to him throughout his career. And said, look, we need to be able to have at least one of the kids on our side, so we have to do a draft. And that's how Chicago ended up with Brody rooting for the Sky in this series. Copper an early 7 points. Here's Diggins Smith cutting through, got bumped, put it in, plus foul number 2 on Courtney Vandersloot.
This is the aggressive mindset that Phoenix needs from Skylar Diggins Smith, is looking to attack. When she gets into the paint, it manipulates the defense. So she can either look for her own shot, but if she draws defenders in, she's also very good at finding the shooters open around her.
We were talking to Skylar earlier today, and she said, this is why I came here. I came to play with D. I came to play with BG. I came to win a championship. Phoenix in the finals for the first time since 2014. Vandersloot stops on a dime. Dolson from deep connects on a three.
That's a tough guard for Brittany Griner because of her ability. She's a terrific screen setter, Stephanie Dolson is. And then if Griner has to help, she's also a very good three-point shooter.
Shot it at 40% from three this season, 38.5 in her career as Vaughn hits the baseline jumper. Dolson giving it up. Here's DeShields off the bench for Chicago. She could be a major X factor as well. And a foul here against Petty. And that will be the first on Shea Petty. And the second team foul against Phoenix.
We've seen Kalia Copper a couple times get by her primary defender. We saw her get the and one going to the other side of the rim on Brittany Griner. She is so quick and explosive off the bounce.
Averaging over 18 points on 53% shooting in these playoffs. Here's DeShields. 5 to shoot. Parker will take. No. Good box out there from Griner to win the rebound for Phoenix. Here comes Hartley. Sandy Brondello wants to create and handle a little more. Diggins-Smith, she got it! What a hot start for Skylar Diggins-Smith in these 2021 finals.
Phoenix is a different team when Skylar Diggins-Smith is able to hit from the perimeter and get her feet in the paint off of dribble penetration.
8 points in the quarter for Diggins-Smith. She's 3 of 4 from the floor. Nice cut. Vandersloot puts it in on a beautiful find from Dolson.
All of the players for Chicago can pass, and they have a lot of movement offensively, especially on that weak side, cutting to the basket. So difficult to defend.
Rossi getting ready to check back in for Phoenix. Griner smushed, squeezes it out. Vaughn doesn't get the roll. Phoenix had made its last 5 shots. Oh, a steal, poke from behind by Petty, grabbed by Skylar Diggins-Smith. And a foul here against DeShields in transition. Chicago had one to give.
Petty again. Petty again with the poke, Ryan. I mean, her hands are active. She does all those little things defensively to help get you extra possessions.
Petty will check out. Courtney Vandersloot to the bench along with Copper and Parker for Chicago. Dana Evans will run the point here for the Sky. James Wade tries to steal minutes here or there at the end of quarters to get Courtney Vandersloot a breather. Switch it up sometimes with Lexi Brown or Dana Evans.
Yeah, but he's got all of his facilitators out of the game right now.
Turner couldn't flip it in. Good D from Stevens. Here's Evans. Dolson working on the block against Turner. Dolson, the footwork and the finish.
She is a big body, and it's hard to get around her. When she gets deep position, forget about it. We saw that a lot in the 3x3 at the Olympics.
Won a gold medal as part of that team, coached by our former colleague, Carol Lawson. Diggins-Smith lobs it inside. Vaughn waits, can't finish. A nice tip from Quigley. Second difference, game and shot clock. Dolson, good ball fake. Her jumper short. And Phoenix can hold for a final shot. Rossi hit her first 2 threes in the quarter. We'll give it up here. Hartley a jumper. No. And that's how the first quarter will end. The Phoenix Mercury, a 5-point lead after 1.
It's time to attack the glass offensively. Kalia Copper here hitting the 3, and then on the other end, Skylar Diggins-Smith doing her thing as well. 5-point lead for Phoenix.
This presentation of the WNBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV. Here with Kalia Copper of the Chicago Sky, and Phoenix got out to a hot start. What do you think you guys have done to settle back in and really push the pace right now?
We got a couple stops in a row, but that wasn't enough. You know, we got to get stops. We got to get multiple stops in a row, and we got to come down and score.
You are tasked with one of the most difficult guards in all of basketball, Diana Taurasi. What are the keys to defending her and keeping her off her rhythm?
I got to defend her without fouling. I got to be disruptive, you know, just not letting her be free coming up the floor. I got to disrupt her a little bit and contest.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Holly.
Well, wonderful moment here in Phoenix as the top 25 players in WNBA history honored. So many of those 25 here being celebrated by this outstanding crowd in Phoenix, Arizona. 3 players in our finals honored as part of that group. Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, as well as Candace Parker. So Diana, Brittany, and Candace all out for a quick photo, and then back to work for the start of the second quarter here in game 1 of these best-of-5 finals. Rebecca, biggest things that stood out to you in that first quarter?
I think the pace right now is to Phoenix's liking. Chicago has not been able to get their runouts. They're so dangerous, especially when it's Copper filling the lane and they can go on runs quickly. Interested to see, too, if Allie Quigley can get it going. 0 for 3 from the three-point line right now.
To your point about pace, that was such a key for Sandy Brondello, slowing the game down, playing in the half court when we talked to her before the game. Taurasi fading away and hit it.
How is she doing this? Her wife had a baby yesterday morning. She was at the hospital with her. Came and joined the team at 7:30. She can't be working on much sleep.
Dolson hits the three, but an offensive foul against Stevens. And that'll be the first personal against Azurá Stevens.
Diana Taurasi just with the lean and the fade, and that's over a really good defender. Diamond DeShields, who has bounce and can contest.
Taurasi also playing with a high ankle sprain and a broken bone in her foot. Taurasi flips it into Vaughn, and Vaughn chucks it between Roz and Holly.
The right idea though,
Roz and Holly?
because of the rotation defensively.
7-point Phoenix lead. Here's Quigley. And a whistle. This time it's going to go against Vaughn. Hit Dolson up high. Going to stay right here with Chicago. Griner will come and get Kia Vaughn. You know, one of the things that James Wade has talked to us about is the versatility of his bigs. He said, I look at our post rotation like an offensive line. I use them all. I need them all. We've seen that throughout these playoffs. And that's without Ruthie Hebert even getting time. And she has played a significant role at moments for Chicago as Petty gets free and Taurasi drops a dime in her lap.
To the versatility, all 5 players on the floor for Chicago right now are capable three-point shooters. That includes their 4 and 5.
Vandersloot cuts through and scoops it in. Vandersloot with 2 personal fouls, only player who's collected 2 thus far. Griner finds Petty. Can't connect on a 3. Vandersloot off and running. Here comes DeShields, so great in the open floor. Couldn't finish the layup around Taurasi.
But that's their game. That's their game.
Wow. Taurasi had to pirouette around her teammate twice. Hartley catch fire. No.
The weak side out is going to be there, though, because of the hard hedge, Ryan. You just got to deliver the pass on the money, right in the shooter's pocket.
Dolson. Here's Vandersloot. Waits. Gives it up. Quigley will take. Can't hit. Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, married to each other. As Taurasi throws it away, her 4th turnover of this first half. Final schedule, ESPN Wednesday, Chicago at Phoenix, Game 2, 9 Eastern. Game 3 will be on ESPN2 Friday from Chicago, 9 Eastern as well. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
The depth, though, that James Wade has on the bench. He takes one elite athlete out, Diamond DeShields, puts another one in, Kalia Copper. He takes out Stephanie Dolson in her size and brings in Candace Parker. So many options.
7-point Phoenix lead. Copper gives it up. Quigley on the attack, adjusts and finishes. Much needed bucket for Allie Quigley. We had started 0 for 4 from deep and 1 of 5 from the floor. Griner forces her way in, couldn't quite finish, but puts foul number 2 on Stevens, and a couple of free throws coming for Brittney Griner.
An area of growth for her is her patience. She got the ball assessed. Is there a double team coming? No, I can put the ball on the floor. We've seen her when the double team has come, making the right reads out. She has improved so much in terms of her decision making when she gets the ball in the post.
It's the first. These free throws are presented by YouTube TV. Watch live TV, no cable box required. Scan the QR code now to try it free for 2 weeks.
Run to your TV, scan it.
It's up long enough you could jog.
Well, it depends on how far your TV is from where you're sitting.
And how fast you are as well. Griner hits both free throws. A 7-point Phoenix lead, 2 fouls on Stevens, 2 on Vandersloot. Here is Vandersloot. Led the league in assists for a 5th straight season. Parker, they're going to shade away from Turner, and a foul called on Taurasi, who came with the dig, and that'll be the 2nd personal on Diana Taurasi.
Early in the possession, because of the switch, Azurá Stevens was posting up hard, and Shea Petty was battling her and did her job, wasn't able to get the ball inside on the mismatch.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, that foul, Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, that is one of the all-time great matchups as we see Quigley finally get on track from 3. There is no love lost between those two. They were teammates in Russia for quite some time, had a good relationship, and then things got south. I've seen them on the court really go hard at each other. Let's just say this is a heated rivalry, and really fun that we get to watch this in the finals.
Yes, not just 2 of the all-time greats. As Taurasi came at the 3, almost looked like she was seeking a whistle. Quigley, not that time. Copper the offensive rebound and the putback. And Chicago has cut it to 2.
Talia Copper uses the rim as well as anyone in this league to protect herself from getting blocked. We saw it there. We also see it on drives frequently.
Copper now with 7 points. We'll step aside. Chicago getting a little rhythm here in the 2nd quarter. It's a 2-point game, game 1. It is time for our most searched, presented by Google. Searches of GOAT WNBA have spiked 790% globally since Game 5 ended between Phoenix and Las Vegas on Friday. That was officially voted on. And Holly Rowe, there was a whole lot of celebrating going on the floor earlier today.
That's right. You saw the greatest players in the top 25-year history of the WNBA, but at the end, they have awarded Diana Taurasi with the GOAT Award. This was selected by a media panel plus the fan vote. And how about that? A onesie for baby Isla, also part of the GOAT family now. And, you know, I talked to Lisa Leslie before the game about this, and she said, I actually hate that we're trying to name a GOAT because there's so many women that should be considered for this position. And I think she has a point there. But people have spoken, and Diana Taurasi continues to prove with her play, particularly in this playoff, why she is considered the GOAT by many.
Just unbelievable what she did in the semifinals to help will her team to this moment. As Copper's called for her 2nd foul. So 2 on Copper, 2 on Stevens, 2 on Vandersloot, and 2 on Taurasi.
Yeah, you got to fight over a lot of screens when you're defending Diana Taurasi, and that time Copper, a little too much contact.
Taurasi around the screen, gets it back to Turner, bodies into Parker, couldn't finish. Griner trying to collect it amongst a sea of white. And a shot clock violation could be there from Chicago.
Yeah, they continue to fight and just get bodies around Brittney Griner, so it's not an easy collect of the board.
We were talking to James Wade about his keys against Phoenix, and said we have to keep them off the free throw line. We have got to contest threes from Diana and Skylar. And then with BG, we just need to pray.
Phoenix with the #1 free throw rate in the league this year. Skylar Diggins-Smith took more free throws than any player in the league. Diana Taurasi, we know she can get to the line. It's always a key when you go against Phoenix to defend without fouling.
Vandersloot curled it around to Stevens. Quigley keeping her feet in bounds, pushing off Petty, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Allie Quigley. A lot of minutes here for Shea Petty in these playoffs, thanks in large part to the injuries to Kia Nurse, as well as Sophie Cunningham. For a little more on if we might see Sophie in this series, let's check in with Ross.
Yeah, Sophie Cunningham has that left calf strain. She participated in warm-ups and shooting pregame today. But Coach Brondello told me the focus is getting her ready for game 2. They didn't think she was ready, and she said with the injured calf, that could lead to other injuries, so they're exercising caution.
What a move from Griner, able to finish. And what a lift it would be for Phoenix if they do get Cunningham back in this series. Copper couldn't finish it over Turner. Parker fighting for it. Another chance here for Chicago. Stevens gets loose and lays it in. The one thing that's so important to remember when it comes to Sophie Cunningham, it's not for her 7-3 performance in game one of these playoffs, the first round against New York, Phoenix never would have advanced. Diana Taurasi didn't play in that game. It took all of that effort from Cunningham in order for the Mercury to scrape away with a win against the Liberty in round one, the single elimination contest. Stevens had the mismatch. Vandersloot found it. Foul on Petty.
And so both of Phoenix's guards with size are on the sideline because of injury. And so you see it reflected right here. Shea Petty, undersized, trying to battle inside on Stevens on the switch.
Second foul on Petty. And a timeout taken or no? No, they're going to call the team back out. I think everybody got a little confused there, Rebecca. And now the players will head back to the line. A fresh new look, a whole new feel, and a brand new app. Download the new WNBA app to connect with other fans live during the games with new interactive features available throughout the finals. I noticed you didn't get confused, though, so well done.
No, I was wondering what all of the... Where are you going, ladies?
Where'd you go, ladies?
It's not a timeout.
The game's here.
I was going to the app. You know, one tap, trying to figure it out.
We heard off the top of the broadcast Carolyn Peck talking about Azurá Stevens, Rebecca, and we saw Stevens was just an incredibly critical piece for the Sky in that semifinal win against Connecticut.
Well, look at her. 6'6" with incredible length. She can stretch out to the three-point line and hit shots. She's defending Brittany Griner. At times she's come as a help defender on Griner.
Diggins can't push it in, trying to save it, does. Chicago has used a 13-4 run to tie this game. Vaughn doesn't get the roll, and the Sky with a chance to take their first lead of the afternoon. Here is Copper. Lost it. Good hands by Diggins. Smith got in there to knock it away. Petty, pull up. No.
We see sometimes Phoenix, and when the players want it too much, they take quick shots, and that's not in their favor. They need to work the ball around, unless it's a quick one by Taurasi.
It's like Sandy Brondello emphasized to us earlier today. The need to share the ball. Parker, it's fouled by Vaughn. She knew it. Phoenix had one to give. Second foul on Vaughn. And Bria Hartley getting ready to check back in for the Mercury will spell Diana Taurasi. Well, that's been an interesting balance for Sandy Brondello, which she has maestroed nicely throughout these playoffs, getting Taurasi enough rest for her to be her most effective self.
Yeah, she knows she's going to have to give her some minutes on the bench so she can be heroic in quarter four.
Vandersloot, the pull-up is good, and Chicago has its first lead of the 2021 finals.
How about the float and arc on that one as she was shooting over the outstretched arm of Brittany Griner.
8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists for Vandersloot as Griner screaming after missing that gorgeous setup from Diggins Smith.
She didn't need to try to oop it. She could have just come down.
Parker finishes plus the foul. And a chance for 3 for CP3.
Candace Parker moving and cutting and beautifully delivered by Quigley. Woo, how'd that go in?
Coming up, we have the State Farm halftime report, and Sue Bird and Carolyn Peck are going to give us all of their insights from the first half. Sue, what are you seeing so far?
Basketball is still a game of runs. Momentum was with Phoenix early, but now it's shifting to Chicago.
Chicago doesn't have a true center, but they're battling with points in the paint. Back to the three-point percentage, Chicago's flirting with that 33-34%.
Sue, you mentioned pace earlier. Chicago starting to pick up that pace. Back to you, Ryan.
All right, LaChina, Sue, Carolyn, looking forward to hearing from you all at the half. It has been an exciting opening quarter. Chicago right now on a 17-4 run. They had trailed by 9. They now lead by 4.
And I think part of it here in the second quarter, in this last stretch, when Chicago's taken that momentum, has been a little bit of physical and perhaps mental fatigue for Phoenix. Remember, Friday night, a really emotional game and victory to get to this point.
Chicago was already out in Las Vegas. They would have stayed had the Aces won. Instead, then, they just bunny hopped over to Phoenix. Vaughn lost it. Quigley flags it down. Quigley fending off Hartley, lays it in. The Chicago Sky, as LaChina just mentioned, starting to pick up that pace.
And you do it off of defensive stops and quick outlets or off of turnovers.
An 11-0 run for the Sky. A 7-point lead. Turner and Taurasi getting ready to check back in for Phoenix. Shot clock down to 5. Hartley, the pull-up, off the mark. Rebound, grabbed by Vaughn, trying to keep it alive, taken by Chicago. Here's Vandersloot. No look, Copper free, can't hit. Parker there for the follow.
Danger. This is danger, and this is where Chicago thrives, Ryan, when they can get out and transition, score quickly, and on the other end, making Phoenix work so hard to get a shot up.
An extended 22-4 run. Diggins Smith can't finish, got it back, threw it off Vandersloot, and it'll stay with Phoenix. Let's take a listen into Candace Parker, wired for sound.
Yeah! We're smooth at. Taking charges now. Let's go. And one! Let's go!
Well, Candace Parker promised us that she was going to bring it on the mic. I'd say she's 2 for 2 there.
She brought it on the court, bringing it on the mic.
Vandersloot scoops it in. Phoenix cannot stop the bleeding in this second. It's a 15-0 Chicago run. Taurasi trapped, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Taurasi. That will be her 3rd personal, and it will be her 5th turnover of this first half.
Chicago's trapping all of these on-ball screens where they're dragging really hard, and Phoenix hasn't been able to find the out pass quick enough so that they can make them pay for it.
Hartley trying to come and grab Taurasi, and now she will slowly exit the floor. But Chicago, a 15-0 run to build an 11-point second quarter lead here in Phoenix. Vegas used a 24-0 run against Phoenix in the 3rd quarter of Game 4 to extend their series. Then had a 14-0 run to take a 10-point lead in the 3rd quarter of Game 5 before Phoenix came back to win. Quigley can't finish. Hartley able to save the rebound. And now a 4-on-4 development. The Mercury have not scored in over 4 minutes, and they won't here. Another turnover, 11th of the half for the Mercury, as Turner swipes it out of bounds. And it will stay with Chicago.
Yeah, Phoenix has to figure out that trap. They have to figure it out on the offensive end and get out of it and make the quick passes to find the open player.
Vandersloot finds Parker for the easy 2. It's a 17-0 run. Just adjusting the clock at the scorer's table. Parker now with 11 points. Vandersloot with 10 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. She had just the 2nd ever playoff triple-double in Game 1 of the semifinals. Cheryl Swoops, the owner of the other. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Phoenix. Hartley wrapping inside. Diggins Smith. The 2-for-1 is gone. And a foul here, and this is a big foul. That's going to be number 3 on Courtney Vandersloot. We see Cheryl Swoops along with many of the other WNBA legends in the crowd. The top 25 all-time being honored. Swin Cash, Tisha Penichero, Lisa Leslie, Becky Hammond, Nneka Ogwumike.
Cynthia Cooper was in there.
All sitting courtside. Here's Griner. Turning. And gets the roll.
Finally a touch for Griner inside.
This is her 3rd field goal this first half. 8 points for Griner. 8 for Diggins Smith, who was hot early, has been quiet since. Quigley left alone. No, Copper flies in for the offensive rebound. Brown at the buzzer, won't hit. And that'll do it for the first half of Game 1. A 17-0 Chicago run towards the end of the half to help propel them to an 11-point halftime lead.
Candace Parker came to Chicago to help lead them to the promised land of a championship, and she has come out focused, making tough shots, leading the way for Chicago. Partner in crime, Courtney Vandersloot, also leading the charge.
In Phoenix, get ready for the start of the second half of Game 1 of these 2020 WNBA Finals. The Chicago Sky, an 11-point lead on the Phoenix Mercury as we welcome you back courtside. Hey again, everybody. Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Phoenix got off to a good start, but Chicago ended the half on a 17-2 run. Courtney Vandersloot, Candace Parker, their fingerprints all over it. It's time for Anything is Possible, brought to you by Deloitte.
And those two are their main facilitators, one from the guard spot, one from the forward spot. And they combine for 7 assists and no turnovers. Candace Parker getting it going offensively, scoring. We talked about it. She can face up. She can get in the paint as well. And facilitating. Courtney Vandersloot able to find the open player. Candace Parker on the offensive glass. Sloot is in one of those places where she's making the right decision. Is it time to pass or is it time to score? She's figured it out here in this game, knowing when to attack, knowing when to get her teammates open. Those two have been in this moment before, and they're performing well.
Vandersloot, 10 points, 5 assists. Parker, 11 points in that first half, both incredibly efficient as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Chicago has the advantage right now in depth. They've been able to bring fresh players in from the bench. 9 players have already played in this game. Phoenix only has 9 healthy players total. So will that take a toll with Phoenix coming off that late game on Friday night in Las Vegas? Also, Diana Taurasi with 3 fouls. Do they go right at her and attack? Now with more on Phoenix, here's Roz.
Coach Brandello told me we're making mental mistakes, turnovers, forgetting the scout, not rebounded. She admitted, yes, Holly, the fatigue is setting in, but she said they're really tired, but there's no excuse. It's the finals. We have to dig deep.
Well, Coach Brandello is not going to like that opening possession as Phoenix turns it over again. 12 turnovers now. They're 11 in the first half for the most they've had in a half this season.
We've seen it throughout the course of the playoffs. They're trying to get Brittany Griner the ball on the block, and there she pushes off on Candace Parker, gets the foul called the prior possession. She got it. The double didn't come, but Candace did a great job getting in her space. Brittany Griner needs to get the basketball, and she needs to play like she did in Game 5 of the last series for Phoenix to make a run.
2 fouls now on Griner. Back-to-back turnovers to start the half for Phoenix. Stevens on the follow, puts it in, and right away, Sandy Brandello needs a timeout. 49 seconds into the third quarter, and Sandy Brandello has to re-huddle the troops. Well, Candace Parker repping her Bears in our Week 5 Monday Night Football matchup. That's Lamar Jackson, the 3-1 Ravens, hosting Carson Wentz and the Colts. 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. It was funny the other day, after Chicago won, Candace was having her press conference, and it was during the Bears-Lions game. She sat down and said, "What's the score?" And someone told her, "The Bears are up." She said, "Well, it's the Lions." Taurasi, a jumper is good, much-needed bucket for Phoenix and Taurasi as Chicago was on an extended 21-2 run dating back to the first half. Copper bounces, Stevens able to finish. More good offense from Chicago.
Oh, they read that hard hedge so well as she rolled to the basket, and a great delivery on the pass by Copper.
And again, a balanced attack as Taurasi cans a deep 3. Trying to bring some life back to the Mercury. Chicago, every one of their starters has scored at least 8 points thus far in this game. Copper tees it up. Can't knock it down. Griner the rebound. Her 5th. Taurasi guarded by Vandersloot, who has 3 personals. That one's coming towards us as Copper knocks it away.
She's read the weak side pass really well. Seeing her get her hands on the ball.
One of the things James Wade talked to Copper about in the offseason was being a lockdown defender for the Chicago team, how important that was going to be for their championship aspirations. And not only has she been that, but as Holly talked about in the Open, she's also been their leading scorer all year. Here's Diggins-Smith lobbing, Turner able to finish. Quigley hops off 1 foot, couldn't finish. Turner fingertips the rebound. Phoenix with a little juice. Taurasi finds Turner, blocked by Parker. The 2020 Defensive Player of the Year on the rejection. And on the other end, Diggins-Smith took a big hit from Parker to draw the charge.
Just 2 great defensive plays on each end of the floor. First, you see Candace Parker coming over to save the layup, and then on the other end, Skylar Diggins-Smith. You always have to credit the guards when they step in and take a charge on a big. Wow, that was a forceful one.
Skylar Diggins-Smith has really shined defensively this season for Phoenix. Nice lob there. Turner puts it in, and the foul.
The last 2 possessions, a much better job of slipping the screen. As hard as Chicago is hedging, that is there. Come out, roll, and she's had really good English too on her flips up on the board.
That's the 3rd foul on Stevens, who will check out. Dolson in. What changes now in the matchup? Phoenix on this 7-0 run. Make it 8-0 with Dolson coming in for Stevens for Chicago.
Dolson will be a bit of a more physical defender, and on the offensive end, one of the best screening bigs in the W.
Here's Quigley receiving the pass from her wife. Copper. Parker, 6 to shoot. Vandersloot with Turner switched on her. Shot clock fading. Quigley taking. No. Copper the offensive rebound. The putback and the foul. Kalia Copper making it happen right when her team needs it.
James Wade told us last week she makes winning plays, and this is a winning play right here. Getting on the inside, getting up. We've seen her elevate to go get boards all game long.
Holly?
Story about her nickname, obviously KFC, which the F stands for you figure it out. But what she says is, I'm so nice off the court, I'm the best teammate, I'll do anything for my team, but when I'm on the court, North Philly Ka comes out, and that's what we see right now. I see North Philly Ka out there.
Yeah, she says, you want a cake? I'll get you a cake. But on the court, totally different. Reiner guarded nicely by Parker. Reiner wanted a foul, didn't get it. Chicago survived that little burst from Phoenix. Dolson alone hits the 3.
How good has she been in her minutes, Ryan? How good has she been stepping in and hitting the open shots?
A blocking foul here called against Dolson. Going to keep it down here with Phoenix. 8 points in 7 minutes for Stephanie Dolson.
We talked about it, you know, she's a really good screener, but she can also do this, step in and hit the 3. That's a tough spot for Brittany Griner to come out and contest.
And Dolson stepping in after Stevens picked up that 3rd foul. Taurasi wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Very upset. Slow back on D. 5 on 4 for Chicago. Vandersloot open, free release, gets blocked by Turner. Taurasi, a deep one off the mark. Turner, another rebound. How about Diggins-Smith connecting from downtown?
You saw it throughout the Vegas series. Brianna Turner and her activity, getting extra possessions.
What a screen from Quigley to free her wife Vandersloot for 2. And Parker saw it the whole way.
Connecticut coach Kurt Miller was talking to us about what a great screener Allie Quigley is, a back screener.
And that's going to be foul number 4 on Taurasi as she chucked Quigley. So Taurasi picks up her 4th. with 5:12 to go in the third. And that's the 6th turnover for Diana Taurasi. Well, one thing we saw from Chicago here after Phoenix started to go on that run, they answered it. And when we talked to Courtney Vandersloot at the start of the playoffs, she said, biggest difference with this team now is us not crumbling when that moment comes. She said, we saw it on film as a team, we talked about it. Anytime the game would start to get away and the opponent would go on that one big run, we would fold. And the biggest difference has been our resilience when that moment comes since their loss to Washington.
Yeah, the team came together after that Washington loss, watched film, has been much better since.
Diggin Smith missed it wide right. Out of bounds to Chicago. Dana Evans, Diamond to Shields will come and spell Vandersloot and Quigley, but not yet. Are they going to allow the substitution? Well, this is interesting. Shields just snuck on the floor, and Eric Bruton is saying, whoa, whoa. He's counting the players now and saying there's 6, but Quigley then hopped to the bench. So Evans didn't come in, but Shields did.
James Wade jokes with us before the game that he might go with 6.
Yeah.
Trying to defend Griner.
Copper forces a way in. Strong finish from Kalia Copper.
Her explosion on the first step and then on the last step to be able to get it up and over Griner.
14 points now for Copper. 7 rebounds, 3 assists as well on 50% shooting. Griner can't hit. Copper another rebound. 14-point Chicago lead. 3rd quarter of game 1. Copper gets fouled by Griner. See if they call the foul on the floor. That's going to be number 3 on Brittany Griner.
Yeah, you see her work the baseline, though. She works the baseline so well, uses the rim so well as protection from a block shot. Talked about that in the first half.
Now, Courtney Vandersloot just limped off the floor, getting some attention on what looks like the left foot, grimacing a bit. We'll watch that. Copper and Diggin Smith collide. Dolson steps through and plops it in. Graceful, maybe not. Effective, sure.
She's been really, really good. She's been really, really good in her minutes. That's her first plop call, I believe.
Italian, 10 points for Dolson now. Griner, deep catch, buries Dolson and finishes. But you're right, Rebecca. I mean, think about it. Stevens goes out with their 3rd foul while Phoenix is on an 8-0 run. Dolson comes in and has been terrific.
Yeah, a completely different type of player for Brittany Griner to defend.
Copper, a little hesitation, scoops it home. Oh, Kalia Copper can't be stopped. Timeout, Phoenix.
That's another area where Phoenix is really missing their bigs, their 2 injured big wings, is they don't have somebody who can match up well with Kalia Copper.
Speaking of injuries, Courtney Vandersloot getting some attention. Holly Rowe.
That's right. She's taken off her shoe of that left foot, and they've put one of those balls that can relieve some of the tension. I can't tell if she's cramping, but she keeps pointing to that foot like when she went up, something didn't feel right. She's definitely stretching out the bottom of that foot, and it looks like she's taking in some kind of an oral medication right now to try to help her alleviate this discomfort. Here she goes, putting the shoe back on now.
Thank you, Holly. We'll watch Vandersloot closely, the orchestrators for the Sky team. Chicago answered that 8-0 Phoenix run with a 16-5 run themselves. You know, you look at a series, and obviously you could think one thing and things turn a completely different way. But based on Phoenix playing Friday night late and that dramatic, epic game, this felt like a game with Phoenix out on the home floor that you look at and you say, hey, this is a game for Chicago to steal.
Yeah, without question. And Phoenix had good energy early. Of course you are. It's the first game of the finals.
Ooh, a foul here as Taurasi was shooting 3, got wedged with DeShields and Parker. And I think DeShields' glasses broke. Yeah, we have a bifocal fracture.
See Diamond coming off his screen. Diamond fighting over it. It was Diana's follow-through is what came down on Diamond's glasses.
Foul was called against Chicago. Not sure if they caught DeShields or Parker for it.
The play is under review for potential hostile act.
All right, Eric Bruden very kindly over to explain to us exactly why they will go to the monitor here. So right now we have a foul on the floor against Diamond DeShields, a defensive foul, resulting in 3 free throws. They will go to the monitor to see whether or not there was anything reckless about the closeout, which would then upgrade the foul, or if there was anything afterwards that could lead to a flagrant call.
On Diana Taurasi.
Yes. With that right hand, is there anything from Diana that's, you know, unnatural on the follow-through that could be a flagrant against her?
Well, a reckless closeout would negate that, because if it's a reckless closeout and a player is going to become landing.
Call on the floor is a defensive foul by Diamond DeShields, followed by a technical foul by Diana Taurasi.
All right, so a defensive foul on DeShields, 3 free throws for Taurasi, but a technical on Diana as well.
For the arm coming down.
Yes. Well, the crowd didn't like the second half of that announcement.
They didn't. And we saw Diana get lit on fire after her confrontation with Jackie Young in Game 5 of that series. You wonder, with the lack of sleep and the quick turnaround, does she have it in her to let something like this fire her up again and result in incredible play?
And a little more of a mountain to climb for Phoenix than what we saw the other night as well, facing a 17-point hole. 6 turnovers for Taurasi is tied a playoff career high. Hey, taking a look at the upcoming WNBA Finals schedule. Wednesday on ESPN, Game 2 here in Phoenix, 9 Eastern, and then Friday on ESPN2, Phoenix at Chicago for Game 3. 9 Eastern start again. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
Teams get a couple days off between Game 1 and Game 2. It really is a shame that Game 1 happened only 2 days after Game 5 of the semifinals. I would like to see that change.
14-point game. Phoenix 7 of 9 from the line. Chicago 7 of 7. And a turnover here from the Sky. Feel this crowd just waiting for a run from its Mercury. Megan Walker getting minutes. That possession didn't go well.
Every time there's an on-ball or handoff, you have to expect the double team. It's been happening all game long. Megan Walker in. She's got some size on the perimeter here. It's gonna come. It's going to come. It's come every time.
Walker did not get any minutes in the first half. Heard Holly and Roz talk about Phoenix going just 7 deep. Quigley and Walker jump it up, and DeShields saves it. Chicago controls. The Sky shooting 54% from the floor as a team in this game. Phoenix has turned it over now 15 times. Quigley goes baseline, leans in, doesn't get the roll, but does get the whistle.
Chicago's had success with that, whether it's Quigley here or Copper. They've been able to get baseline dribble penetration towards the rim.
Quigley at the line in the playoffs. She has hit 34 straight playoff free throws, according to Elias. Make it 35. If you're wondering, well, what's the longest streak of consecutive made free throws in playoff history?
I was wondering.
I thought you were. I know that face. Elena Delle Donne, 44 straight. From September 14th, 2017 to September 19th, 2019. Diggins-Smith got fouled and will shoot 2 as the whistle goes against Dana Evans.
Skylar Diggins-Smith back in the game after a quick rest, and that's what you need to see from her, is when she gets in attack mode and gets to the free throw line.
Something important is happening right now on Twitter. Don't sleep on history. Use the hashtag WNBA Twitter to be a part of it. You know, that's the thing. WNBA Twitter. Very active, very entertaining.
Oh, I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
Can you sleep on history?
Not if you're on
sleep
WNBA
on the
Twitter.
present,
You
but
can't. Diggins-Smith, 13 points now, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Phoenix shooting just 42% from the floor. Quigley, a deep one is good. Allie Quigley from way downtown, 15 points now.
Behind the wall of Dolson. Give her credit for that screen.
Taurasi draws 2, flings to the corner. Hartley the pull-up. Can't get it to go. Parker the rebound, looking to push for Chicago. Diggins-Smith did a nice job to stop the ball. Evans stepped out of bounds, and Chicago gives it back.
Stephanie Dolson, known as a great screener in here. If Turner's trying to figure out, all right, do I work over it? And Quigley uses it beautifully. Just waits and waits. Steph Dolson holding her ground. Is that an offensive lineman right there?
Yeah, that's what James Wade talks about. Looking like Jonathan Ogden. Griner kicks, jumper, it is good for Kia Vaughn. Well, Dolson joked with us earlier in the playoffs that her favorite thing to do is screen. Oh, DeShields, the pedaling, couldn't put it in. 2-for-1 opportunity for Phoenix. Hartley. And a whistle underneath is going to go against Dolson. That'll be her second. It'll put Chicago over the limit. It'll put Griner at the line and also execute the 2-for-1 for Phoenix. As we see the numbers for Brittany Griner thus far in this game, one of the things that Sandy Brondello talked to us about was just the maturity from Brittany Griner this season, and saying she is playing the best basketball of her life. And James Wade highlighted to us, and he coached Brittany in Russia, that he has always felt that Brittany Griner plays better the bigger the game is. And we have seen her play wonderfully in these playoffs thus far. Entering this series, 21 points per game on 57% shooting, just under 10 boards, just under 4 assists.
In particular down the stretch in that game 5 against Vegas.
Had 2 straight tough buckets after Vegas had taken an 81-77 lead late. Quigley, not that time. Griner secures the rebound, took a hit, will shoot more free throws. Griner is going to shoot 2. And this is ideally what Phoenix would want, right? Getting to the line, slowing down the game.
Everyone gets a chance to catch their breath. You wonder, does Phoenix have one more push in them?
Taurasi and James Wade having an animated conversation. James also coached Diana in Russia. And Griner hits both. a more manageable 11-point deficit. Parker has to get it in and does to Dolson. Phoenix does have a foul to give. Seconds left in the quarter. Parker on Taurasi, loses her and lays it in. And that'll do it for the third. Big bucket from Parker. 13 for Candace and a 13-point Chicago lead after 3 here in game 1.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. I'm here with Diana Taurasi. Dee, how are you guys working to push through the fatigue here?
Yeah, we're not tired. We're just getting our ass kicked right now. That's the bottom line. So we got to be better on both sides. They're playing really well. Tired, not tired, we got to play better, and that starts with me.
You did cut into the lead a little bit here, but if they try to make another run, what must your team do to stop the bleeding?
Well, we know we have to do a lot of things better. Obviously, defensively, we're struggling right now in rotations and rebounding. We've gotten better, but, you know, we got to improve on those things, and then offensively, we got to do some better job moving the ball. You know, things that when you talk about basketball and being a good basketball team, you have to do, and we're not doing them.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ross.
Parker saved a turnover there. Taurasi not using fatigue as an excuse as Quigley airballs the 3.
But Phoenix is really struggling in the defensive rotations, as Diana Taurasi brought up. And when they've been really good in the playoffs, they've had energy in those. They've been more active, more aggressive on the defensive end as well. And she will say it's not fatigue. I'm certainly seeing physical fatigue leading to mental fatigue.
We saw those numbers in the paint, something Carolyn talked about at the half. Chicago a +20 in the paint right now against Phoenix. Taurasi, there goes the double. 10 to shoot. Hartley. Over to Vaughn, her jumper won't go. Rebound Vandersloot. Hartley getting more minutes with the injuries to Nurse and Cunningham. Hartley still working her way back after rehabbing a torn ACL. Vandersloot can't hit the 3. Long rebound. There were 3 Phoenix bodies there, and Chicago ends up with it.
Fatigue.
Looked like you had 3 Mercury players just looking at each other. And Dolson cashes in. What strong minutes from Stephanie Dolson here in game 1. Hartley. Working around the Vaughn screen. Into Griner, turn, shoot, and hit.
Chicago's really been effective limiting that, though. They have been effective limiting Brittany Griner's touches and her good looks at the basket.
Lob to Dolson. Vandersloot found her beautifully. 14 points now for Dolson. 9 assists for Vandersloot.
5 players for Chicago in double figures.
Oh, Taurasi got grabbed on the hand. She's upset. She didn't finish it. Would have had a chance for 3. Instead, we'll go to the line and shoot a pair. Now, James Wade was trying to say she was still dribbling and the foul should have been on the floor. What determines whether or not it's a shooting foul on a drive is whether or not the gather has occurred.
We were talking to James Wade early in the season, or early in the playoffs, and he said, we know who we are, and that's an unselfish basketball team, and a team with a lot of different weapons who can score. 5 players in double figures. We've seen them make the extra pass here today. 20 assists on their 32 buckets, Rod.
Well, they lead the league in assist percentage, assisting on a higher percentage of their field goals than any team in the WNBA. Quigley. Gives it up, gets it back. The 3-time three-point contest champion. Lobbed it in. Is that going to be on Taurasi or on Vaughn? It's going to be on Taurasi, her 5th.
Chicago's done a really good job recognizing the switches and that lead to mismatches. And here on the roll, you see Diana Taurasi battling with Azurá Stevens. I think they were saying that she had her arm clamped. And they will always call that a foul because it can lead to injury.
Petty nearly popped it free. Here's Quigley giving it up. Dolson trying to control it. Bodies hit the floor. And it's going to stay with Chicago. 4 to shoot. Rhea Hartley will check back in for Phoenix. Who's going to come out? Nobody coming out yet for the Mercury. And now Taurasi will. 17 points for Taurasi, who was moved into 4th place on the all-time finals points list. She's the all-time leading scorer in the playoffs as well as the regular season. And a delay of game warning issued there to Taurasi, who took a while to get off the floor.
But it didn't come from the official who was standing right next to her. It came from the official on the baseline.
Quigley wide open, connects on a 3. 18 points for Quigley, and Chicago has its largest lead.
So many weapons. Chicago has so many weapons.
Griner double, works through it. Nice footwork from Brittany Griner.
Really good job to split through.
Copper dashing down the floor, got hooked by Vaughn, will go to the line.
Brittany Griner senses the double, knows it's coming, comes through, patience, and then able to finish. But how about Chicago? Pushing the pace the other way on a made shot.
Copper hits the first. 17 points for Copper. 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, as her star continues to shine in these playoffs. Last 2 games, 2 wins in Chicago. Copper averaged 22 points on 55% shooting to close out the #1 overall seed, the Connecticut Sun, as Diggin Smith on the side-to-side movement gets fouled by Copper. So this will be a side out of bounds. Phoenix dropped game 1 to Vegas before coming back to oust them at 5. And a whistle going the other way. Griner gets called for the offensive foul. That's her 4th.
Certainly one way to slow down the pace. The second half has been a lot of whistles, taking the ball out of bounds, getting to the free throw line.
Quigley over to Copper, a 3. Truth! Kalia Copper, another 20-point game in these playoffs. 21 for Copper and a 20-point Chicago lead.
Chicago, a team that's had success by making the extra pass, finding the open player. It's been Copper a lot today.
The WNBA Finals on ABC is presented by YouTube TV. Watch live TV with unlimited DVR and more. YouTube TV. Try it free. And in part by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure.
It's time for the unbelievable play of the game, brought to you by Oculus from Facebook.
Kalia Copper has talked about her need to bring energy, and she has certainly done that here in Game 1 of the WNBA Finals. Has been phenomenal. Getting on the offensive glass, she thrives out in transition when she can finish the easy buckets. Just goes up and gets the board, and you balance that with her ability to hit threes as well. A complete player, one of the most improved players in the league over the course of the past couple seasons.
For more on Kalia Copper, let's check in with Holly.
You know, when James Wade took over in Chicago, he said, I got there and Kalia Copper was outplaying our high draft picks. I made sure to let her know she was part of our future plan. Don't go anywhere. She was a free agent, and she decided to stay after the coach told her, you will be a star here. And here she is, proving him right, proving herself right, and ascending to the star that she is certainly to be.
Yeah. An all-star this season, and There'll be many more of those appearances to come for Kahleah Copper.
And I believe she may be a free agent after this season as well. They'll do everything to lock her up.
And that money's going to go up for Kahleah.
Just a bit.
Petty with the shot clock winding over to Griner. Turner gets blocked by Stevens, controlled by Chicago. Let's check in with Ross.
Skylar Diggins-Smith was understandably frustrated in the huddle. It was Diana Taurasi who had a settling and calming voice. She said, hey, stay with it, let's stay together. Coach Brondello challenged everyone to stay aggressive, and of course, Sky ran out and huddled the team ready to lead.
I wonder though, Ryan, at this point, how much longer they stay on the floor.
Yeah. It's a 23-point game. This was a tough turnaround for Phoenix after Game 5 on Friday night in Vegas. Emotional, obviously. Chicago's had those extra days off. Griner turns and finishes, and now Hartley comes to the scores table along with Alana Smith and Megan Walker. So Sandy Brondello about to wave the white flag as Diggins-Smith comes up with the deflection and the finish on the other end. Doesn't it seem like that always happens? You bring the subs to the scores table, and then you score 5 straight. Quigley on the drive. Will pull. No. Copper, another offensive rebound, but the shot clock expires. Phoenix basketball as Sandy Brondello will empty the bench. Diggins-Smith, Taurasi, and Griner, the big three, will live to play another day.
They've got a couple of days to try and recover. Good luck, Diana Taurasi, with a newborn at home, trying to get some rest, but give their bodies a chance to get a little more oomph back.
Get that night doula. Hartley, blocked by Quigley. On the attack, gets fouled, and will shoot 2.
I want to revisit the rebound that Kahleah Copper had gotten on the other end, because she can elevate like very few players. And what's impressive to me is she still has that elevation. She still has that quickness in the fourth quarter that she has in the first. We talked about in last series with Kelsey Plum having elite level fitness. Copper has it as well.
10 rebounds for Copper to go with her 21 points. We talked about this off the open. Chicago has such a diverse attack. You have 12 points, 10 assists from Vandersloot. You have 18 points from Quigley. You have 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals from Parker. Azurá Stevens has 8 and 8. And then off the bench, 14 for Stephanie Dawson. Steal here for Phoenix. Copper has matched her career high, by the way, with those 10 rebounds in regular or postseason play. As Petty hits the 3. 14-point game. Still some meat on the bone here for Chicago with 3:30 to go. And that's going the other way. An offensive foul against Quigley. Kurt Miller told us is the best screener in the WNBA. That time she got called for a whistle.
She's a player who sets a mean screen on the offensive end of the floor. She also has a ton of movement. So here, stepping in, back screens are her forte, and it gets called for the illegal one there.
Lexi Brown into the game, replacing Dana Evans. Courtney Vandersloot on the bench, and now, you know, if you are a fan of illegal screens, you have come to the right place. Foul called against
Terrible.
Phoenix. Sandy Brondello liked the call.
I don't think she did.
17 turnovers from Phoenix, 15 from Chicago. Here's Quigley. Parker looks off the pass. Now we'll kick it to the corner. Clock down to 5. Copper had it poked away. Hartley off the poke away from Petty. Hartley gets blocked by Quigley and controlled by Chicago. Making Doug Bruno proud.
That's right.
The legendary DePaul head coach. Quigley dips around. Zips it back. Copper, not that time. Parker has it taken by Petty. Petty racing in, will lay it home.
You wonder why Parker's still in the game.
And a timeout taken by Chicago. It's a 12-point game. Phoenix is on an 11-0 run. It's time for today's Power Moments presented by Beats. Let's take a listen into Candace Parker, Wired for Sound.
The Wizard has stumbled. Now is when we need you to run more than ever. She does it again. Hey, I need you to be ready. I love you catching it high. Good job. Yep. No, I got you. I just want to make sure you think you're good.
Well, James Wade has emphasized to us the importance of the leadership of Candace Parker. Courtney Vandersloot has said she was the piece we were missing. Vandersloot back onto the floor here after an 11-0 Phoenix run has turned a 23-point Chicago lead into a 12-point cushion. And Holly Rowe just let us know that James Wade was as upset in this last Chicago huddle as he has been all playoffs long, saying we need execution down the stretch. And they got it here. Vandersloot to Stevens for two.
Not only a really nice dribble penetration and then leave-off pass, but to do it while using the clock.
I believe the clock needed to be adjusted. And it now has been. Want to remind you, Game 2 of this best-of-5 WNBA Finals, 9 Eastern on ESPN Wednesday. Also always available on the ESPN app as Parker collects the rebound. Parker had it poked away. Fading away. Can't finish it. Petty the rebound. Well, a big story looking ahead to this series. Sophie Cunningham, how will she be able to function moving forward? Roz told us earlier as well. Kia Vaughn sent that one to Tucson. Roz told us earlier that Phoenix optimistic about Cunningham being available Wednesday, and what an impact it would be for Phoenix to have another physical guard to be able to throw at Chicago.
Yeah, she's a spacer, and defensively she can be really good when they're in switching situations. And yes, big physical guard, and they need to throw some different looks at Copper. She really has had her way today.
Now James Wade able to empty the bench again with the 14-point lead and more time whittled off the clock. Chicago trailed for most of the first half. They went on a 17-0 run in the second quarter. And that really was the difference in this game, propelling the Sky as Petty takes the charge.
And the good thing for Phoenix is that they've been in this situation. They had a couple blowout loss to Vegas, able to recover from game 1 to game 2.
Chicago, 6 players in double figure scoring in this game. Hartley, the ball fake, the pull-up, no. It's all cosmetic at this point as Hartley can't hit the 3. Smith another offensive rebound. Shot clock down to 5. Smith tried to outdo Vaughn. Over the second row, and Chicago will be able to dribble this one out. Evans walks it across the timeline. The Chicago Sky stay piping hot. Game 1 of the 2021 WNBA Finals belongs to the Sky. 91-77 the final as Chicago takes a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. Game 2 coming up Wednesday. Sky Mercury 8 Eastern on ESPN. Right back here in Phoenix. Game also available on the ESPN app. Chicago with 6 players scoring in double figures. All 5 starters and Stephanie Dolson off the bench. Copper with 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 13 from the floor. And Candace Parker, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Kalia is standing by with Holly Rowe.
Well, I think people need a reminder that every game starting out the WNBA playoffs, your team was in a single elimination mindset. How has that carried over to still game 1 here tonight?
We have that same mindset, Holly. You know, we came out and we're still like, hey, we're not thinking about it as a series. We're thinking about it as a single elimination game because that keeps our sense of urgency high.
You have so many abilities on the court. It's just so fun to watch. But tell me how specifically you're rebounding today. Skying for those boards, double-digit rebounding, kept your team really with a great lead.
You know, I think that's what makes me so special, Holly. I think affecting the game in different ways. You know, if I'm not scoring, I have to rebound. Going out there offensive rebound and getting our team extra possessions, that's important.
You guys do have experience in this moment on your team, but for many of you, this is your first finals moment. How would you evaluate the performance?
I think I did pretty good. I got to limit my turnovers. You know, they're playing great defense on me, and I just have to see the defense and make sure I'm making the right decisions.
All right, we'll see you game 2 here in Phoenix. Thank you, Ka.
Thanks, Holly.
All right, Holly. Chicago a 91-77 Game 1 win in Phoenix over the Mercury to take a 1-0 lead in the series. Wednesday on ESPN, it will be Finals Game 2, 9 Eastern. Up next on ABC, check your local listings. For our producer, Lori Privatera, our director, Ken Dennis, Roz Goldon-Woode, Holly Rowe, Carolyn Peck, LaChina Robinson, Sue Bird, and the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. I'm Ryan Rucco. Thanks for watching the WNBA Finals on ABC, and goodbye from Phoenix.